Hello, we're going to make a video, and this video will show you how you may be able to reset your root password on a GRUB CentOS, on a CentOS 6.x Linux system. This assumes that you have not set the GRUB password. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Okay, I've got a CentOS system here running. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and reboot my system. You can also do this by just starting it up rather than rebooting it. You'll notice I get all the little messages going across my window here. I don't have the GUI thing that kind of crawls across as it shuts down and boots up. I've set so I'm going to go ahead and hit the space bar here. Sorry about that. When it rebooted, it came up and said you hit the space bar in 3 seconds or it's going to boot. Now your system may not have that message come up, and it may come straight to this message or this screen right here where it shows the different operating systems that can boot. In this case, it's only CentOS is what we have. So it's sitting on the CentOS version that I want to log in with. And so now at this point I'm going to tap the letter E for echo. I'll hit E. And because I don't have a GRUB password set up, it will immediately take me into the 3 lines that it's going to run and use to boot the system. If I had the password set, a little message called password would appear at the bottom, and I'd have to type in the password. After typing in the password, I would then arrive at what you're seeing. But since I didn't have a password, I came straight into these 3 lines. I'm going to use my down arrow key and go down 1 line, and now I'm sitting on the kernel line. While I'm sitting on the kernel line, I'm going to go ahead and again tap the E key. E is in echo. And what it does is it takes me to the end of the kernel line, and I could go back and use my cursor key and go back and make changes to kernel parameters if I wish. But what I'm going to do here is just type in the number 1, and that's going to allow me to boot into single user mode. After I type in the letter 1, I'm going to hit the return key, and this takes me back to the 3 lines. Now that kernel line has a number 1 at the end, so that's going to take me to the single user mode when I boot. In order to boot, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press the letter B as in Bravo. So I'll tap the letter B, and it's going to start the system. And again, I'm not using the Linux GUI, so what we're going to see here is a bunch of text messages coming across, and this will tell me like what's booting and what's not. Okay, now in single user mode, I don't have any networking or anything, but I don't really care about that right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type PASSWD and then just hit enter. And now it's going to let me change the password for root. So now I'm going to go in and type a new password. And you notice when I type the password, nothing comes up. You can't see the letters going, so you can't actually see what the password is I'm changing it to. Then it tells you to retype the password, and you need to give it a better password than I'm doing in this example. Okay, so now I've reset the password. Now what I can do is I can type reboot and hit enter, and it's going to reboot the system. And I'll just go ahead and hit enter to get it to reboot a little bit faster. Oh, I thought I had this set to boot into text mode. I was wrong. It's booting into graphic mode. So what I can do is tap the escape key, and it will give me the messages. give it a second here to boot. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the enter key and go ahead and log into my regular user ID. Okay, now I've booted into my regular user ID. I'm going to do a right click in the blue screen in the middle and go to Open Terminal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say SU for switch user, space, and then a dash, and then hit enter. I could type SU space dash space root, but by default what we normally do is we just type SU space dash, and root is implied if you don't put anything behind it. And now it's going to ask for the password, and I'll type in the password that I changed it to, and boom, you can see I'm now logged in as root. That's all there is to resetting the root password if you do not have the GRUB password set. So thanks a lot for listening. I hope this is helpful.